Welcome one and all to a Borderlands 4 video, and today I cover Amon, who has been getting the spotlight over this past week or so. I wanted to wait until all the Amon videos were out so I could fully talk about him, and that's probably what I'm going to do for Harlow as well. This way I can break it all down in one video instead of scattering one character's news across 3 or so separate videos. I also have some other little tidbits of news to share, so stick around, but first, let's talk about Amon. I want to start here with Amon's backstory, which you can find on the Borderlands 4 website. Amon was raised in a vault monster worshipping cult until the vault was opened and the creature turned on everyone he loved. As the only survivor, he dedicates his life to finding and killing as many of these beasts as he can. Amon, a warrior poet, is introspective and unflinching to his duty. But despite his hardened appearance, he has a warm attitude, often regaling comrades in arms with stories and advice earned throughout his travels. Amon is the tallest playable character ever made, and you can see that in gameplay or in his new character short, which I highly recommend you check out if you've yet to see it, link down below. You can see through that he towers over pretty much everyone at, I think they said around 7 feet tall, maybe a little taller than that. Amon sounds like he's going to play like an absolute freight train in combat, just coming through flinging an arsenal of every medieval fantasy weapon at his enemies while tanking anything they can throw at him. Okay, now I want to dive into some of Amon's character shorts, so again, I highly recommend you watch it first, and you can come right back here, link in description for the character short. First off, these character shorts are literally some of the best content outside of Borderlands games we've ever gotten, in my opinion. They bring so much life to the characters, and they are just pure cinema. As for my actual takeaways, I get kind of an anti-hero vibe from Amon, which isn't all that surprising because that's what most of Borderlands is made of. There really are no heroes in Borderlands, it's villains and anti-heroes. Amon clearly wants to keep people safe, but he's not going to do that in any clean and gentle fashion. I mean, he seems gentle with the ones he wants to protect, which I love. If the cutscenes in Borderlands 4 are written even half as well as these character shorts, we are all in for a treat. Everything that happens in each of these character shorts is written with pure intent behind every action. Every little minute detail has some kind of intent behind it. The way Amon gently puts his hand on this guy's shoulder to excuse his way through the crowd, all the way to the music in the background. Now you might be saying, what do you mean by music? Great question, guy. If you've played Borderlands 3's DLC 2, Guns, Love, and Tentacles, you will recognize this guy's outfit here, and you may notice and be familiar with the tentacles around the vault arch. If you watch the character short and listen to the music that begins to play as Amon approaches and the instruments used, the sound of it is all the same as Xylorgos. Xylorgos, for those that don't know, is the planet you visit in Borderlands 3's DLC 2, and yeah, my point here is it seems our friend Amon here is from that very planet. I wonder if we will ever get to go back to Xylorgos as Amon. I think it would be interesting to hear his voice lines as you trek through what appears to be his home planet, especially since if we reference back to the character summary on the Borderlands website, it talks about how he was raised in this cult, and maybe this cult travels planet to planet? I kinda doubt it. So maybe there's a bunch of vaults on Xylorgos. That would be interesting. And I would definitely be interested in finding out more about Amon's backstory, seeing more about him on Xylorgos. Some side thing I was not really sure I want to bring up, but you know what, screw it, I'm bringing it up, is the Borderlands 4 bounty pack that you get with either the deluxe or super deluxe editions. If you pre-order Borderlands 4 and get one of those editions, you get a bounty pack, and that bounty pack features 4 unique areas featuring new missions and unique bosses. That's one of the things it features. It features more than that, but I'll leave that all linked on the Borderlands website down below. But what if those 4 unique areas are taking you 2 areas to let you play through each of the Vault Hunters' backstories a little bit. I think that would be really interesting. I don't know that for sure. That's just something I kind of thought of while talking about this. I think it would be interesting. I don't know if if somebody out there has already discovered through looking at the Borderlands 4 map online. I tried looking for it to see if anybody did, but I couldn't find anything. But I don't know if anybody already discovered where these areas are going to be just looking on the map, if you can just tell. But it would be interesting if, like, oh, you play as Amon and you can go do his bounty pack thing where he goes to you play as him on Xylorgos before he got to Kairos or something. I don't know. I kind of doubt that's what it is, but it would definitely be interesting if we got some kind of little Headhunter packed styled story short thing where you play as these characters and you can play through their backstories or whatever. I don't know. I kind of doubt that's what's gonna happen here, but it would be cool nonetheless. Now moving on, that's all I have for Amon in this video. To be quite honest, I tried breaking down his augments and things from trailers, but some aren't as obvious visually to match up to their description. So if you are curious about his skill tree and such, I recommend checking out the Borderlands website on the character page, where you can check out Amon, Vex, and Rafa's full skill trees. We will probably get Harlow's posted sometime next week, so if you want to see all that, link in the description down below. Now we can move on to some other details I've collected, like this screenshot here, and in the background you can see Elpis is basically a pile of rocks in the sky. There is sort of a lightning ball looking thing at the center, with pink pixie dust everywhere around it. I wonder what Elpis and its destruction means to the story of Borderlands 4, and I can't wait to find out. Speaking of story though, we got a bit of confirmation on a theory I talked about in a prior video, which you can check out to hear the full theory, linked down below in the description. The theory was about how the game kicks off with the player starting in a prison, and this Rafa Cosmetics seems to shore up that even more. He has his own version of the prison clothing, and you can see he has cuffs on here, so it's definitely some more confirmation to the fact that, you know, all the characters go into a prison and, you know, the cuffs and everything and yada yada. So that's kind of cool, kind of exciting to me personally. I liked the sound of the theory to the beginning of the game and everything, and yeah, I'm excited to see how it all plays out when we get our hands on the game in just under a month, which is just absolutely insane that we're just really pressing forward, getting that much closer to the release. Cannot wait. Next up though, we have this tweet here listing some of the activities that will be in the game for us to do. For those unaware, Borderlands 4, on top of normal story missions and side quests, we will have activities that you can discover and do for XP, and this currency I still don't know the name of, which is used for SDU upgrades and cosmetics. For example, in Game Informer, they described one as like you have to hold this battery and be able to climb a tower and get the battery to the top or something. But, you know, normally in Borderlands 4, there's all this extra movement that you get, double jumping and gliding and grappling and all that, but you gotta kind of do this parkour puzzle where you're holding a battery, so you can't like grapple or do all these extra things like mantling and stuff like that. So it's an interesting puzzle for you to do. It's an activity in the world that you can just kind of decide to do or not do. It gives you XP, it gives you this currency to get SDU upgrades and cosmetics. And yeah, there's plenty of activities out in the world like this, it seems. Sticking to the Twitterverse, we have these tweets between Jolts and Graham Timmons, the creative director of Borderlands 4, stating that they have shaved some seconds off the respawn animation. However, he is very transparent in stating that the respawn tunnel can be longer or shorter of a time depending on where you are in the map. I imagine a more busy and cluttered area would take longer than, say, a desolate desert with not much going on. Also, most likely depends what you are playing on. If you want to get technical and on PC, what hard drive you install it on would definitely matter for all load times. Next up, I want to credit MentalMars, as he was the first I saw talk about the health types in Borderlands 4. Link to his video in the description. I highly recommend you check it out, especially because I'm not going to go as in-depth as he did. His video is like under 5 minutes long, very worth the watch. He talks about Iridium health bars, which are kinda new. I mean, it was used on the Agonizer 9000 in Borderlands 3, but it seems like according to this, it will be more normalized as a health type. What is the weakness of these new health types? Could cryo and radiation have specific uses instead of just being good against almost everything? Could the kinetic damage type fit into this? Some good theories and questions were raised by MentalMars, and the video is under 5 minutes long, highly worth checking out. Again, link down below. Moving on, we got to look at some Borderlands 4 split screen gameplay, and something cool I saw was they made the weapon cards more compact. I would have liked if they maybe shrunk the challenge notifications as well, but maybe there's a setting for if those pop up or not, because in split screen they seem to take up a good chunk of your screen. Something that kind of bothered me that they didn't show was how the backpack looks while in split screen. I really would have liked to see that, but maybe they didn't feel it was ready to be shown in whatever version of the game they were playing on, although the game did go gold, so who knows. I guess we will have to wait and see more. If you'd like to check out the split screen Borderlands 4 gameplay, I will leave a link down in the description for you to check out yourselves. With that though guys, that is all I have for y'all in this video. Super appreciate you if you stayed till this point. If you liked the vid, then hit that like button. If you love Borderlands, then consider subscribing, and if you want to support all I do here, then consider joining my membership for $1.99 a month. You will get these awesome emotes, as well as priority reply on comments. If you'd like to catch me live, then tap the bell to get notified, since I don't have any consistent schedule, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.